and CV. What I'm going to do first, research about the company. Amazing, Raj. Very nice. Yes, so you'll research about the company. You will see what is their mission, their vision, and what kind of team culture they have, what is the work environment they have, and what kind of soft skills they need in their employee. So you will research about that, and you will see how you can be an asset to a company accordingly, and then you can prepare yourself. It's not about making or fabricating something about you. It's about more about understanding yourself before you do anything in this world. Even if you're going to start your own venture, even if you're going to work in a company, even if you are going to going abroad for something, first of all, you need to understand yourself. It's more about you. So how can we do that? How can we understand about ourselves? Okay, what are your strengths? I need answers in the list, in the chat box, sorry. What are your strengths? Or what is your strength? Only one word. What is your strength? Socializing, Raj Gaurav says. Okay, all right. I'm a good listener, Vaishali says. Yes, a good listener can be a good speaker. Good. Raj Gaurav says teamwork. Akshat, committed, team player, good speaker and listener. Okay. Honest and working, continuous learner. All right. I'm a good speaker and a guider. अभी किसी ने good speaker शुरू किया, good listener शुरू किया, सबने वही good speaker, good listener, good speaker, good listener, good speaker, good listener follow करना शुरू कर दिया. But if an interviewee asks a question to you, an interviewer ask question related to your strength, you won't be able to answer, and at times you will fumble for sure, because we tend to pick the strengths about ourselves. Remember, strengths about ourselves. We tend to pick the strengths from others. क्योंकि किसी ने मुझे एक बार कहा था, you're a good speaker. I'm not sure if I'm a good speaker. I may feel a little nervous before going to a seminar or before having my chance on being a good orator or going to a stage. I may be very nervous. But since somebody said that I'm a good speaker, I'm a good speaker. So before listening to others, we need to do one activity. We name it as SWOT analysis. How many of you know about SWOT analysis? How many of you know SWOT analysis? That's my strength. All right. So SWOT. SWOT is S-W-O-T. SWOT. S is strength. W is weakness. O is opportunity. And T is threat. Strengths. So what we can do is we can just sit idle for some time and think about our strengths. And don't focus on the words or qualities that someone else might have given you. Just analyze yourself, just introspect and see what are your strengths. Similarly, try to find out your weaknesses as well. Weaknesses का मतलब बिल्कुल भी ये नहीं है कि हम ढिंढोरा पीटेंगे कि मेरे अंदर ये weaknesses हैं. Weaknesses का मतलब ये है, you know that you have those weak areas, but since you know that these are your weaknesses, you are working on those weaknesses. हमें किस चीज के बारे में नहीं पता, we cannot work on that. But when I know that I have this weakness, I can always work on that. So for example, while we were interviewing for my company, there was a guy who said my communication skills is my weakness. मुझे English इतनी अच्छे से नहीं आती और ये मेरी weakness है. लेकिन I have started taking coaching sessions and I'm using internet and other stuff to improve my communication skills. So here, see, so he knows majority of the people, they don't acknowledge the fact that this is their weakness, or they have any weakness for that matter. They don't acknowledge the fact, they're not ready to accept. So acceptance is a big deal in soft skills. Once you accept, once you acknowledge that you need to work in this area, you need to improve on certain skill, you can always improve on that. And till the time you don't acknowledge, till the time you don't accept, you won't be able to improve. So you need to accept first. Acceptance is the key for anything. Okay, now next is opportunities. So 2020 opportunities. 2020 का जैसे ही नाम लेते हैं, क्या दिमाग ख्याल आता है? कोविड-19, कोरोना वायरस, पैंडेमिक, ये सब चीजें लाइन से दिमाग में आती हैं और इकोनॉमी एकदम स्लो डाउन हो चुकी है. बट फॉर few people 2020 has been a year of wonders. Of course, you need to be alert and aware and where are you going and if you're taking precautionary measures or not. But apart from that, ज्यादातर लोगों का ये रोना है, मेरा बिजनेस खत्म हो गया, मेरा बिजनेस चल नहीं रहा है, मेरी सैलरी कट डाउन हो गई. बट द पीपल हु हैव दैट इनोवेटिव माइंड, who have that reinventing capability, they are doing wonders. In approximately 1629, न्यूटन का नाम सभी ने सुना होगा, हम सबको फॉलो करते हैं. वही वो शख्स थे जो एप्पल के पेड़ के नीचे बैठे थे और एप्पल गिरा, उन्होंने खाया नहीं. हम होते तो शायद खा लेते, उन्होंने खाया नहीं, बट उन्होंने ये क्वेश्चन किया कि एप्पल ऊपर क्यों नहीं गया, नीचे ही क्यों गया. एंड ही डेवलप्ड, ही इन्वेंटेड दिस कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ ग्रेविटी. So we also call that year Newton's year of wonder. Why? E is equal to mc square. लाइट का कॉन्सेप्ट, पहले लोग क्या समझते थे कि लाइट जो है व्हाइट कलर की होती है, but it was Newton जिन्होंने बताया that light is colorful. अगर मैं किसी जनरली किसी बच्चे से पूछती हूँ जिसने ये सब नहीं पढ़ा है न्यूटन के बारे में, मैं उससे पूछूंगी what is light? So the answer that I got once was light is something which is not sound. That was the answer I got. But when I talk about Newton, he had this capability of acceptance. He had this capability of reinventing. He had this capability of no. What is no? Next opportunity. In challenges, he always tried to get opportunities. He never sat back. He just evolved and evolved and grew. So it was exactly 1 year of time. That was the deadly bubonic plague that hit all of the Europe. And he left his university and he was forced to sit at home for 1 year, exactly 1 year. And after he came out of this pandemic year, he published his own journal, and he also made this that light is colorful. He made it public, and people accepted the fact. And it was just a hole at the roof where light was coming, and he used those prisms. Earlier prisms were used as the antique pieces at home, and he used that to understand the fact, and he researched on that, continuously researched. Albert Einstein, he failed numerous times, but he tried. हम और आप अगर करते तो क्या करते कि यार ये नहीं हो पाएगा. Even I'm trying to relate it to the interviews as well. So when I train students and at times the senior level candidates for interviews, this is the thing that I hear from them. I always tried, but because of my communication skills, I was not able to get through the interview. But I don't understand. There is some favoritism going on in the company. They hired that girl, but they didn't hire me. They hired that boy, but they didn't hire me. This is the thing that we listen from others. So here, what we are trying to do is we are trying to play a blame game. We don't understand the fact what was there I need to work on. There is no competition in the world. Not a single competition for you. भगवान ने सबको अलग अलग बनाया है, and you are the beautiful creation of God. और आप अपने जैसा एक यूनिक ही पीस हो, आपके जैसा कोई नहीं है. You are your competition. See 5 years down the line where you will see yourself and try to compare, evolve as a person, learn, update yourself. So we have talked about strength, we have talked about weaknesses, opportunities. Opportunity, you have to find the opportunities. So positives and negatives. Positive attitude in negative situation, right? So you have to find that behind every challenge there is an opportunity. An opportunity is always knocking at your door, but it's you who has to identify that opportunity, right? Then the next is threats. Now, what are the threats? किन वजहों से आपको ये जॉब नहीं मिल सकती है, या किन वजहों से आप अपनी एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप जर्नी शुरू नहीं कर सकते हैं, या क्या ऐसी चीजें जो आपको पीछे रोक रही है. Those are your threats. So once you jot down these points, you can start working on, and you can make your short-term and long-term goals. Goals need to be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. It's not that कि मुझे इस कंपनी में सीनियर मैनेजर बनना है, कब बनना है पता नहीं, कैसे बनना है पता नहीं. So this is not making goals. This is not making objectives. You need to jot down how you are supposed to become that senior manager in that company, and what all you need to do for that. And then you will, step by step, you will start working on the same. I hope I am clear, everyone. Yes, no, maybe. Don't allow the comments to stop over here. Thank you, Vaishali. Thank you. All right. So we have already talked about interview. What is interview? And I have already told you about SWOT analysis. Now, very important point over here is personal branding. किसने सुना है personal branding का नाम? What is personal branding? Okay, do let me know what is personal branding according to you. Your own brand. So what is your own brand? Personal development. Okay, more. I need more answers. Aren't weakness and threats same somewhere? All right, so we can talk in detail about this. Weakness is about you, just about you. Threats is what is there in your surrounding and what can be a challenge for you. That is the threat. Challenges, you can say. Your image. All right, wonderful. So, for example, there are few endorsements, few advertisements that you watch on TV, and there's somebody always there to advertise on those, whether it's a soap or a toothpaste or any machinery. So some stars or some sports person is always there to endorse that product. Why the star or why that actress or actor is hired to endorse that product? Because they have some brand value. People know them, right? Since we are new and we are going for an interview and we are freshers, or probably we have an experience of 1 to 2 years, so we need to create our personal brand. So how can we create a personal brand? The first step, I already told you. Who's going to answer the first step? Yes, a big audience, trust them and loyal to them. All right. So who is your personal brand? Vishali, who is your personal brand? What, or rather, let me correct it grammatically. What is your personal brand? Puneet, what is your personal brand? Navneet, what is your personal brand? Akshat, what is your personal brand? Okay, so it's more about, people don't look at the product. People don't look at the product. People look at the person behind that product. I may be an entrepreneur. People will go and buy my services once they know me, and I set a trust with them. I build a trust with them. Once I create that trust with them, they'll be happy and they can invest on me and my services. They can do that. So you have to build that personal brand. And how can you do that? So there are so many social media profilings going on. It's LinkedIn, it's Facebook. Even Facebook, we use it as a personal social media profiling, but it's majorly used by the employers. They see the resume or CV and they just try to search on Facebook, and they go through your profile until it's not logged, and they see what kind of person you are. They try to create a perception about you. They try to evaluate your profile, and many times it's being done in the industry. It's very normal. Before going to the LinkedIn profile, they go to the Facebook profile and they see what kind of person you are, and are you going to be a fit in their organization or not. So social media helps in creating a personal brand for you, for sure. The way you talk, communicate, the way you express yourself, the way you deal any situation, your negotiation skills, your communication skills, your email etiquette, the way you message, no G8 or others short things that you use in the messages. So there's formal and semi-formal and casual messages that you need to understand, and kisko kya bhejna hai, that you need to understand very clearly, right? So you have to create your personal brand. Your resume, your CV is the advertisement. हमें कोई लैपटॉप खरीदना है और हम न्यूज़पेपर में देख रहे हैं, हम टीवी पे देख रहे हैं, तो हम इसको पहले एडवर्टाइजमेंट देखते हैं. अगर हमें लगता है कि हाँ इसमें ये फीचर्स हैं, ये चीजें हैं, ये स्ट्रेंथ्स हैं, ये वीकनेसेस हैं. वीकनेसेस ऑफ कोर्स वी डोंट राइट ऑन द रेज्यूमे और द सीवी. द स्ट्रेंथ्स है, ये स्किल्स हैं, इन हार्ड स्किल्स में ट्रेंड है, and he or she has this much of experience. Yes, I'll surely would like to interview this candidate, because wahi funda hai. The resume or the CV is your advertisement, and you are the product yourself. Though you have to create the personal brand, the number of years that you hold experience on, so your personal brand keeps on changing, because you evolve as a person. You get that experience, you create a niche for yourself in the industry, the domain, whatever domain you have. If you are with me, just write yes or just write Y. That would be appreciable. Yes, wonderful. Now, very important part in interview, when you go for an interview. Okay, who is going to answer? What is the important soft skill that needs to be worked upon or taken care of while going for an interview? What is that? Who is going to tell me? Discipline, body language, perfect. Introduction, dress up. For the first impression is the last impression. You cannot go and in a kurta and sit in the interview. You cannot do that, because the first impression is the last impression. Expressing things. Can I say communication skills? Can I say that? Etiquettes. Okay, it's etiquette, not etiquettes. Personality reflection. Okay, it's a very heavy word that you have used, so, but I'm assuming that you know the meaning. Way of talking. Okay, so let's understand this. Very important part is communication skills. What is communication skills? Communication is secondary thing, Raj says. Okay, the majority of the thing that is covered in an interview is communication skills. Dressing plays an important role as you enter and you try to create an impression. Dressing plays an important role, of course, to see you as a professional and analyze the way you behave. That is a different thing, but the majority of the skill that you need to work on is communication skill. Yes, of course, listening also plays a very important role, because you listen to the interviewer, and then only you can answer. If you listen something else, you won't be able to answer. So communication skills can be divided into 3 parts. Who can let me know the 3 parts for communication skills? Delivering a message to listener efficiently and effectively, efficiently not effectively add kar dete hain, is communication. No, not just delivering, but receiving as well. We need to make sure that we are listening as well. So listening and delivering, both are the components of communication skills. Verbal, non-verbal. Okay, who else? Only Raj Gaurav is active. Vishali says context. All right, more to allow one person at one time. Okay, I'm saying the components of communication skills. Interpretation of message correctly. Be specific about what you say. Specific and clear. All right, so communication has 3 components. First is verbal. What is verbal? I'm using a medium of words to make you understand on the skills required for interview skills, right? So you are able to catch my words, you are receiving my words. So this is verbal when I use words. Second is non-verbal. What is non-verbal? I'm unable to see the videos of the participants. So usually when I'm able to see some people make this, kab tak chalega ye session? You're not using the words. You're not using the words, but the way you are sitting, the way you're using your hand gestures, eyes, this tells me that yes, this is what you want to convey to me. That session is boring. When you make these faces so people understand. There is one saying, you cannot not talk. You cannot not talk. Who is going to tell me the meaning of this sentence? You cannot not talk. I'm waiting for the answer. The sentence is, you cannot not talk. What do you understand by this sentence? What do you think? What is the meaning of this sentence? You cannot not talk. You have to speak, all right? Speak something and share your thought, all right? You can't talk without speaking, no. Expressions and I says it all. Okay, a little closer. More. You cannot sit idle in an interview, okay? Error in the sentence. Two negative words cannot be in the sentence. Amazing, but then it's a saying, and in sayings you can there's a lot of grammatical error which need to be overlooked because these are sayings. Speak through gestures. You can express yourself without talking verbally. All right, you cannot not talk is even if you're sitting idle, even if you're sitting like this, you are trying to convey something. Even if you're not using the words to speak in an interview, apart from the body language. So when I talk about non-verbal, it comprises of that only. So even if you're sitting like this and you're pretending that you're listening carefully, but your eyes, the way you look like this, the way you look like this, the way you mingle your hands like this, you do your fingers like this, the you caress your hair like this, the way you frown the eyebrows, it speaks a lot more about you. Even if you're not using any of the expressions, even if you're sitting like this, it shows that there's something that is not going over here. So it is very well said that you cannot not talk. Even if you're not conveying anything, you're always speaking. Your eyes, your movement, the body gesture is always speaking. So we have talked about verbal and we have talked about non-verbal. So if somebody asks me, what is your strength? I say, I'm a confident person. I'm saying this. So the interviewer probably through my body language can make out, yes, she is confident. Now the another candidate enters and the interviewer again asks, what are your strengths? I'll say, my strengths are, I'm very confident. So which one? A was confident or B was confident? Who is confident? A, because the way she was speaking, the non-verbal, the verbal, and the very third important point in communication skills, which we always overlook. We have talked about verbal, we have talked about non-verbal. We need to talk about para-verbal as well. It is very important. Now, who is going to tell me para-verbal? What is para-verbal? What do you understand by para-verbal communication? Okay, written skills? No. Amriteshwar says pitch tone. Yes, yes. How much you speak? No. All right. एक मेरा ही एग्जाम्पल मैं आप लोगों को देती हूँ पैरावर्बल का. So those were the days when I was sitting at my home few years back, and one of my cousin, she asked me to work on the content for her website. तो मेरा जो जवाब था उनको ये था कि हाँ मैं डेफिनेटली कर दूंगी, हाँ मैं फ्री बैठी हुई हूँ, आई सेड दिस, और मैंने अपनी तरफ से पॉजिटिव वे में ही कहा था, बट शी थॉट कि हाँ हाँ मैं फ्री बैठी हुई हूँ आपके काम के लिए. So the intention was different. The way I was saying it was different, but she took it in a different way. Probably I didn't focused on the tone of my voice, intonation and modulation of voice, the pitch of your voice, the tonality of your voice, the undertone of your voice, and it was taken in a different scenario, completely different angle. I was saying, yes, I'm sitting idle and I can work on it. But she thought that I am kind of taunting or whatever it is that I'm doing. Yes, हाँ मैं free बैठी हूँ, आपके काम के लिए free बैठी हूँ. She thought in that way, right? And I tend to take my examples because I learn from every situation and every experience of mine. I actually grow, and you have that vigor to learn every time. So this is uh, there is one sentence, you. I'm focusing on you over here. I didn't say it was you. I'm focusing on you. So what does this sentence mean? मैंने नहीं, ये नहीं कहा था कि वो तुम थे, वो कोई और था, वो श्रुति थी या वो राज था, but वो तुम नहीं थे. I didn't say, because the stress is on you. Now when I change this, I say I didn't say it was you. Now the focus is on I. That means किसी ने तो कहा था, but it was not me. It was probably Vashali who said this. It was probably Satyam who said this, but not me. Same sentence, grammatically same sentence, no changes at all, but the intonation and the modulation of voice changed over here. And it completely changed the meaning of the sentence. That's why paraverbal is very, very important. So that's why we need to be very clear and precise in our writing, emails and messages as well. If you're sending it formally, we need to be very careful, because how the other person reads it can be a little dangerous at times. So we need to very focus on these three communication parts. The first one was verbal, the words. Second is, and communication is a complete process of listening and speaking both. So you have to listen very carefully and speak very carefully. That make you a good communicator, right? I hope you all are with me. Just write yes. Yes, tone of your sentence basically. Yes, how you say it. There are many examples. I don't want to take those examples though. All right. So we have talked about communication skills, verbal, non-verbal, and paraverbal. Now comes the resume, very important part, resume. What is a resume? What is a resume? Okay, Raj asks, but what is a fault if someone takes in different way? It's not the fault. It's the that you need to work on your listening and speaking skills. We need to be a little precise, and we need to be a little polite while speaking, and we need to see what message we want to convey. ये कुछ उस तरीके से ही है कि स्कूल में दो टीचर हुआ करते थे, एक का हमें बड़े अच्छे से समझ में आता था, दोनों वही कंटेंट समझा रहे हैं, दोनों का कंटेंट सेम है, वही सिलेबस है जो यूज कर रहे हैं, बट कुछ टीचर्स का जो पढ़ा के जाते थे वो बहुत टाइम तक दिमाग में रहता था, और कुछ टीचर्स को समझ नहीं आता वो पढ़ा के क्या चले गए. कंटेंट दोनों का सेम है, दोनों ने वही कंटेंट यूज किया है, दोनों ने वही सिलेबस यूज किया है, बट किस तरीके से पढ़ाया जा रहा है, किस the voice, the tonality they're using, that matters a lot, and how we are taking it. All right, so I was asking, what is resume? Ritik says delivering is important here. It's our skill. Delivering, when you are talking about delivering what you want to say, if I understand you correctly, so it's more on listening part as well. You need to understand before you deliver something. Resume is a structured combination of your skills, experience, achievements, and bio, etc. Okay. I need the meaning of resume, not the definition. The document of a person to present their background skills. Okay. Okay, resume is a French word which means synopsis, summary. Resume सबसे shortest form होता है biodata or CV में. Biodata is completely into personal stuff, so let's not take care of biodata over here. So it's resume and CV. CV is used for the experienced people who hold certain amount of experience, and resume is for the freshers, and it's the shortest form of the advertisement that you're going to give to your employers. So it's a French word. That's why we don't say resume. We say resume because it's a French word. Am I right? Are you getting me? Okay, so as I said, resume is your advertisement. So whatever you're writing in it should be in sync with what you are. ज़्यादातर resumes जो मेरे पास आते हैं, and earlier when I was with TCS and Infosys, the resumes that we were taking care of at that time, they were all copied and pasted. Career objective, same. Strengths, same. So what impact it gives on an interviewer when everything is so common? Because the interviewer always looks for someone outstanding, someone unique. He doesn't want anyone from the crowd. He wants outstanding one, the person who's different from the crowd. You need to have that USP. You need to have that strength of yours. Am I right? All right. Yes. All right. Super. So whatever you are writing in a resume, you need to look at yourself. You need to introspect. As I said, SWOT analysis, work on that. Now see, what is your career objective? Where do you see yourself after 5 years from now? You need to make even your resume teaches you to make those SMART goals. That needs to be time bound. That needs to be measurable. That needs to be specific. That where you want to see yourself after 5 years from now. So if you are here doing this course, after 5 years from now, somebody may say, I want to be the founder of a company. I want to work at this company. I want to be the senior manager of this company. And when you know about this, you actually work toward that. You make your mind map and you work accordingly. Nazibullah says 100%. Thank you. All right. So anything that you want to understand from the resume, like what content, how we can prepare that, and how can we present that? Okay, one more thing. You need to make sure that the headings and the subtopics, the content, whatever you're writing should, significant font. The font should be used, it should be appropriate according to the A4 sheet. And it should not be very big or it should not be very small that we need to stress our eyes to read the content of the resume, or it should not be very big as if it looks that somebody coming from the advertisement and shouting at us. And all should not be bold at all. And try to do something. I mean, you need not to copy and paste everything. You need to be a little innovative with your resume. It needs to be formal. When I say formal, the appropriate font should be used. The highlighting, I mean, the underlining part, you need to look which things need to be underlined. And usually we ask the candidates, when we train the candidates, we ask them to avoid writing the year of birth or the date of birth or their father's name. It need not to be mentioned in a resume because it is more about you. Don't write much about your family background, just write about yourself, because the interviewer is interested in you, not your father, not your family, not at all. The way you speak, the way you portray yourself in the interview, it actually tells more about your family background. So you need not to mention that my father was a retired army officer or my mother was a teacher. No, you don't need to mention that. No, family background ko hata do. Just write about yourself, your strengths, your career objective, the synopsis, your academic qualifications, your achievements and accolades. So these things can be your forte. You can mention these things. and you can elaborate a bit about, because everything cannot be in the resume. Then what are you going to speak? You need to focus on that. All right. So we have already discussed a bit about resume and CV. Okay, what about the format and language? Uh, it depends on the company, though basically English is our international language. So most of the candidates, they use English only. So language need to be in English. But okay, one more thing. Many of the students ask if somebody asks us question in Hindi, should we answer in English? Or if somebody asks us in English and I am not good in English, so should I answer in English only? Okay, I could not get any revert back from any company on my resume. All right, Ankit, please share your resume with me. I'll be sharing my email ID and I'll share the feedback on the resume to you. And probably you can work on the resume. That would be fine. I'll be sharing my email ID for everyone. So you can also share the feedback for the session to me. I would love to read your valuable feedback. Also, if anyone wish to share their resumes with me for the feedbacks, you can share. Great. All right. Can we place our certification before our work? Example, if it isn't relevant for the particular company. Uh, Work needs to be the priority, because then you look, they will focus more on the experience that you hold and what kind of work you do. So that needs to be there, and certification can come later on. That's completely fine. Your academic qualifications. So we'll be sharing, I can share that once you share your resume with me. So I can share. So CV is for the experienced people and the resume is for the freshers. All right. So since we are left with only few minutes, the last point that I'll mention over here is, it's all about you. How much you understand yourself. For example, people ask me, ma'am, agar wo mujhse पूछे कि tell me an experience in your life where you found that you're very honest, where you found that you're very hardworking. So what should I answer? Now, this thing needs to be very crystal cleared. Some incident happened in your life. How come I am able to tell you that that was the incident where you were honest? That was the incident when you were hardworking. Over here, the only thing that is required is introspection, self-evaluation, SWOT analysis. And once you work upon you, you get the results. Always try to have that me time. Me time doesn't mean that you go and watch TV or you listen to songs. Me time means that you don't have anything external. You're just questioning yourself. You're just seeing yourself as a person, and you are just self-evaluating. You are asking yourself questions, and you yourself are answering those questions. So you are the one who's asking questions, and you are the one who is answering. And when you start this process of self-interaction, you don't need anyone to help you in the, whether it's the resume, whether it's about your strengths or weaknesses or anything. I may give you a scripted answer, but when the interviewer cross questions, you may stuck. And this has happened multiple times when we go for the interview sessions with the college students, and at times the recruitment programs for the managerial sections in the corporate companies, this happens a lot. So you need to understand, you need to create a personal brand for yourself. Whatever you are writing on your Facebook, your LinkedIn, Twitter, Insta, people look at you. And through those words, through those pictures, people analyze you as a person. अगर आपने कुछ पार्टी की पिक्चर शेयर की हुई है, तो लोग अच्छा अपने आप से ही वो परसेप्शन बना लेंगे. प्रॉबेबली वो हुई हो 10 सालों में एक बार हुई हो वो पार्टी, बट पीपल विल अंडरस्टैंड दैट ही इज अ वेरी person who is very social, who loves party. So whatever you are putting on internet, it's all public. Nothing is hidden on internet, and the recruiters are making maximum use of that. They just go and they search the profile. LinkedIn is a professional one, so people are very alert and aware about LinkedIn, but the recruiters are using the other. I do that, but the recruiters are using the other way around. Instead of the LinkedIn, they go for Facebook now. They check you on Facebook. They try to see what kind of person, because their main concern is the longevity in the company. कि 2000 ज्यादा मिल गया या 3000 या 4000 ज्यादा मिल गया, you leave the company. और उन्होंने जो इन्वेस्ट किया वो सब पानी में. कितना टाइम तक आप कंपनी में रहोगे? Are you loyal enough to stay in the company? Right? So I'll share one story again over here. Again, this is one of the reputed engineering college in Ghaziabad. So over here, Infosys arrived, and the HR in the Infosys, she asked, what is your strength? What is your USP? She asked me, what is your USP? USP is unique selling point. Why should I hire you? That means. So the person answered, I'm very honest. I hate liars, and I'm very honest. What she answered. And after around about 15 to 20 minutes, I was sitting along with her. So after 20-25 minutes, she asked, okay, so there's a goof up in the company, and but if you will reveal that goof up, the company will be in loss. So are you going to lie about the same for our company? She said, of course, ma'am, yes, I will, just to grab that opportunity of being hired. So the values over here clashed. So that's why I say, if the interviewer asks cross questions, you may stuck. You need to be very clear on your values, your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Though we don't mention the weaknesses and threats in the resume, but the interviewer may ask. So you need to look and you need to answer accordingly. Any other doubt or query you have, you can email me. I'm sharing the email ID in the chat box over here. Okay, so it's Aakanksha Tyagi 12 at gmail.com. So I've shared my email ID. Yes, of course, you all can connect on LinkedIn as well, and I'll be happy to help you all. Whatever questions you have regarding soft skills or interview skills, I'll be happy to help you all. Okay, as you said, yes, everything affects, Ritik, everything. Whatever you think, your mindset, the post that you share, uh, the stories that you share, everything has a perception. People may not know, understand the story behind that post or the story that you shared, but they make a perception. People judge. Even when you look at someone at first, you tend to judge, you make perception about the person. Even the person is not talking to you. He or she is sitting idle, but you make a perception about the person. All right, you're not able to see? Let me just check. Okay, so I'm just posting it again. It's Aakanksha Tyagi 12 at gmail.com. Is it visible to all now? Wonderful, wonderful. All right, all right. So I would also like to get your feedback, everyone. So if you can share your feedback at this email ID too, that would be of great help. And I would connect to you all. If you have any queries or doubts, you can mail me, and I'll be happy to reply everyone. All right. So this is it for the session. So can we have the admins to take over the session? So let me know if the session was informational and you learned something from the session, and what else you would like to cover in the future sessions. Do let me know. How was the session? and what else you would like to cover in the future sessions. Thank you, Vishali. Thank you, Raj. Thank you, Ritik. Thank you. So you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question, or you can ask the question in the chat box. Satyam says it's amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Satyam. The way we should structure our answers, that is impressive to the HR. All right, we can absolutely help you with that. We can definitely help you with that. But the prerequisite to that is you need to understand yourself in a more refined and clear way. It should not be coming from someone else. That is the prerequisite for this session. Amazing and insightful session, ma'am. Thank you, Raj Gaurav. Great, great, wonderful, amazing lot you are, full of energy. Great. I wish you all the best. And for any queries, any doubts, connect to me on this email ID, and I'll be answering to each and every one of your questions and doubts. Thank you, everyone. Definitely, Puneet, we can cover this in the next session. How to tackle the HR. You cannot tackle the HR, but yes, you can tackle the HR questions. You can search, Raj, you can search through the name Aakanksha Tyagi, Aakanksha So can we have Shivam or Uday with us now? Love, you can mention your question over here in the chat box. All right, guys, I guess the session is over now. And thank you, everyone. Thank you for your feedback. Sorry, ma'am, didn't mean that way. What did you mean? I understood your point. Don't take it in a negative way. I just was kidding. That's okay. That's completely fine. Thank you, Vishali. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for your time. And share your feedback at aakankshatyagi12@gmail.com. And you can share your resumes as well. And I'll definitely connect with you on that. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.